Aiden, a simple delivery driver, never thought that his ordinary day would turn into a dangerous adventure that would test his courage. As he was preparing to leave a house after delivery, a loud explosion sounded in the distance, followed by a billowing cloud of black smoke, spreading rapidly throughout the street. The house next door burned violently. The fire rose from the windows, making the surrounding air suffocating and sweltering. In the midst of the haze, Aiden heard a faint, choked cry for help from inside the house. Although fire and smoke are the obvious danger, even though everyone around is panicking and trying to find shelter, that can't stop Aiden. Even as a person who only works as a daily delivery worker, he cannot leave the person in need of help. He knew that Mrs. Helena, who lived alone in that house, could not save herself. Without further thought, Aiden rushed towards the house. Without hesitation, the thick smoke rushed into his eyes, causing him to rub his eyes constantly. But he couldn't wait. Although no one dared to approach the burning house at this time, Aiden had no thought of his own safety. He only knew that Helena was in need of help. When he entered the house, the suffocating air almost suffocated him, and the smoke rushed into his lungs, causing him to cough and choke. His eyes lit up, and he couldn't see where the exit was. But Helena's cry for help rang out, as the only indication to him. He continued to fumble every step in the smoke-filled house, his heart pounding in his chest, his hands covered in dust and blood. In that moment, nothing seemed more important than finding Mrs. Helena. He felt the danger in every second. Every step was like a risk, but Aiden couldn't stop. Finally, when he found Helena lying near the window, her strength was exhausted, and Aiden immediately picked her up without a second thought. Although the fire was getting closer and closer, and the surrounding space was becoming more and more dangerous, he was still determined to get her out safely. Every step in the fire was like a life-and-death battle. Each trail of fire lit up around him. Every breath became more difficult. Aiden could feel the heat of the flames passing through his flesh. But he didn't stop. At this moment, all he could think about was to save Helena at all costs. When he finally got out, staggering to the ground in panting breath, his heart seemed to burst with fear. Mrs. Helena had been saved. She was still alive. But he could not stop himself to breathe a little. The people around him ran to help. When people realized his actions, although Aiden's hands were sore, his body was tired, and he was inhaling a lot of smoke, he felt like he had just completed an important task, not for glory or praise, but because that action is the right thing to do. This scene, an ordinary man, not a firefighter, not a person with professional equipment, but did not hesitate to rush into the fire to save a human life. That is courage at the greatest level. Aiden didn't think about rewards or praise. To him, saving Helena's life was just something that anyone in that situation would do. Just a natural human reaction in the face of danger and the need to save another person's life. After saving Helena from the flames, Aiden was taken to the hospital for first aid. Although he was not seriously injured, he still suffered minor burns and inhaled thick smoke during the rescue. When the doctor examined him, they found that Aiden had signs of minor burns on his hands and face, along with shortness of breath due to the smoke. However, these injuries are not serious and do not require long-term treatment. However, this also caused Aiden to stay in the hospital for a short time to be monitored, and he could not return to his delivery work immediately. Meanwhile, Aiden's heroic actions quickly became known, spreading in the community. Eyewitnesses told the story of a brave man, despite the danger, who rushed into the burning house to save people. Medical staff, neighbors, and even the media did not spare praise for his bravery. However, Aiden does not feel proud or interested in the attention he receives. He was always humble, and even when everyone around him wanted him to receive compliments, he just kept quiet, smiling softly. Aiden refused any praise of himself because to him, it was just an action that anyone in his situation would do. When asked about his act of saving lives, Aiden simply replied, "I just do what everyone else would do. Saving people is natural when we see them in distress. There's nothing special here." He didn't want to receive any praise, and didn't think he deserved such great praise. Although many people saw him as a hero, Aiden was still just an ordinary person, continuing to do his delivery work with dedication, and there was no change in his attitude or actions after this event. Aiden's humility was not only reflected in the way he rejected all praise, but also in his subsequent actions. Although he can be proud of what he has done, he still maintains a humble stance and never considers himself a special person. He understands that in life, sometimes we have to do difficult things, but that is not a reason to show off or brag. Aiden saved Helena not to prove himself, but only because he thought it was the right thing to do. It was his humility and noble soul that made people admire and respect him even more. The day after the life-saving event, Aiden was sitting in the living room of his house, still in a state of shock after what had happened. He didn't expect that the act of saving Helena could change his life in this way. As he was resting and trying to regain his normal rhythm, a sudden call rang from an unfamiliar phone number. On the other end of the line was the warm voice of Mrs. Helena, whom he had saved from the deadly flames yesterday. Helena and her son, David, visited Aiden. They wanted to express their deep gratitude for his brave actions. Aiden felt a little surprised and embarrassed by their appearance. He wasn't used to such praise or appreciation, but the sincerity in Helena's voice touched him. She even grabbed Aiden's hand and said, "You saved my life. I don't know how to thank you. Without you, I wouldn't have survived." Her words made Aiden deeply moved. He didn't know how to react, just smiled wryly, and replied that he was only doing the right thing. But the gratitude from Helena doesn't stop at words. At the same time, her son, David, a wealthy businessman, stood up and made an offer that Aiden could not expect. He shared that in his family, they cherish life and saving actions. So Eric wants to repay Aiden's courage with a special opportunity. He offered Aiden a job at his company, where he could develop his career for a much higher salary than his current job. This offer is not only a new job, but also an opportunity to change Aiden's life. Eric went on to explain that his company needed someone with a sense of responsibility, dedication, and courage, qualities that Aiden had shown in saving Helena. This offer surprised and touched Aiden. He never thought that such an ordinary, nothing special act could bring such a great opportunity. Aiden, though unaccustomed to this generosity, was grateful and a little confused. He didn't expect this, and in that moment, he just kept silent and thanked them for his sincerity. Gratitude from Helena and Eresis, not only expressed in words, but also in concrete and practical actions. Not only did this change Aiden's life, but it also made him realize that sometimes small actions can make a big difference, and that a person's kindness and courage can be rewarded in unexpected ways. After accepting David's offer, Aiden felt a strong wave of emotions rise in his heart. He couldn't believe what had just happened. An ordinary delivery driver like him, with days of hard work to make a living, is now given a life-changing opportunity, an opportunity he never dared to dream of before. David, Helena's son, is a successful businessman. He not only works in the business field, but is also a great influencer. When he asked Aiden to join his company, he was talking not only about his work, but also about the future, about opportunities for personal development, career advancement, and financial protection. Eric offers a much higher salary than Aiden's current delivery job, with full benefits, including health insurance and promotion opportunities. Aiden found it hard to believe what he was hearing. He has lived a simple life, always trying every day to ensure life for himself and his family. He never thought that just for the act of saving people, he could receive such a great reward. He couldn't help but feel confused and worried. Will I be able to meet the job requirements in such a large company? Will I be able to thrive in this new environment? Those questions kept circling Aiden's mind. However, Eresis not in a hurry. He said that the company will support Aiden throughout the transition process, helping him get used to his new job, from professional skills to how to work in a corporate environment. He also reassured Aiden that this was not a reward arrangement for heroic action, but a real opportunity, because he believed that Aiden had great potential. Eric insists that Aiden deserves a chance to develop himself, and that's why he wants to help. This offer is not only a career opportunity, but also an opportunity for Aiden to change his life. Working in a large, well-trained company with a stable income and full benefits, this opens up a brighter future for Aiden. Moreover, this opportunity also helps him to do something good for his family, such as taking care of his mother, who was having health problems. Aiden couldn't believe his eyes when he looked back at the process from an ordinary delivery driver. He could now start a new chapter in his life. He felt hopeful, and although he was worried about the new challenge, he could not pass up this opportunity. He knew that if he accepted the offer, he would have to try hard not to disappoint Eric and Helena, nor to miss out on a great opportunity to change his life. When Aiden started a new job at David's company, a sense of strangeness and surprise filled him. He went from a delivery driver to a simple, sometimes heavy workload. Now he has to enter a completely different environment. His mornings are no longer hours of driving through crowded streets, but meetings, discussions, and work requirements that need to be completed on schedule. At first, the feeling of unfamiliarity and work pressure made him worried. However, what reassures him is the dedicated support of Eric and his colleagues in the company. Although Aiden has no experience in the industry, Eric has created a learning environment where he can slowly get used to the new job without feeling overwhelmed. Eric and his colleagues are ready to guide him every step of the way, helping him better understand the processes and work in the company. Aiden quickly noticed that the professionalism and work ethic of everyone around him was very different from what he was used to. Lessons from work, communication skills, and how to handle complex situations became extremely valuable to him. Gradually, Aiden began to feel more confident. He quickly adapts to the job, learning new skills such as time management, using the company's specialized software, and how to solve problems that arise at work. Although the early days were difficult, he always remembered that this was a big opportunity, and he didn't want to let it slip away. The sense of pride in being able to complete a job on time, or when receiving recognition from colleagues, makes Aiden feel more determined than ever. This new start not only gave Aiden career opportunities, but also helped him rebuild his faith in himself. Not only did he learn a lot of new knowledge, but he also had the opportunity to improve his quality of life, especially in taking care of his mother. With health insurance from the company, Aiden was finally able to plan surgery for his mother, something he had previously only dared to think about but could not afford to do. Moreover, Aiden also began to think about his future with a new vision. He realized that a new job was not only a turning point in his career, but also an opportunity to change his life and that of his loved ones. With determination and belief in himself, Aiden believes that he can rise up, overcome his initial difficulties, and build a brighter future for himself. After a period of working at David's company, Aiden began to demonstrate his ability and progress. Although he did not have much prior experience, his patience, determination, and spirit of constant learning helped him overcome all challenges. He found that his new job was not only an experiment to find the best option, but also an opportunity for him to develop himself and build a strong belief in his abilities. Aiden gradually gained respect from his colleagues, not only for his humility, but also for his ability to work professionally and creatively. He always tries to complete work on time, is ready to take on difficult tasks, and offers effective solutions when encountering problems. This makes colleagues and superiors see him as a person with great potential, ready to take on greater responsibilities in the company. The positive feedback from them is a great motivation for Aiden to continue striving. During the process, Aiden began to feel more confident when communicating with partners, customers, and even managers. He learned how to handle situations skillfully, manage time effectively, and work as a team fluently. Thanks to the guidance of Eric and his colleagues, Aiden gradually improved his communication skills, from presenting ideas to convincing others and working under pressure. He realized that not only talent but also good communication skills and creativity at work are needed. Aiden's confidence is not only shown at work, but also spreads to other aspects of life. He gradually learned how to face difficulties and challenges without feeling as anxious or hesitant as before. Improving his professional skills and achieving small successes at work helped Aiden rebuild his belief in himself. He is no longer just an ordinary delivery driver, but he is now an important part of the company, with valuable contributions. With continuous development, Aiden knows that the road ahead will have many new opportunities and challenges. However, he is ready to face and overcome any difficulties because he understands that he can do it and is always ready to learn to go further. A sense of confidence, strength, and consistency has helped Aiden look to the future with promising plans and a determination to rise, not only in his work, but also in his personal life. As he looks to the future, Aiden feels hopeful and determined. His early successes at work have created a solid foundation for him to build bigger plans. Although the road ahead is not without challenges, Aiden has learned to face them with confidence and calmness. He realized that the biggest opportunities come from small and step-by-step changes, from learning every day to persistently pursuing his goals. With job stability and support from David, Helena, and his colleagues, Aiden began to plan for important changes in his personal life. One of his biggest goals is to help his mother move to a better place to live, where there is a comfortable and conducive environment for her health. Thanks to the health insurance that the company provides, Aiden is able to plan the necessary surgery for his mother without having to worry about the cost, which is an important step in improving his family's life. Not only that, Aiden also began to think about finding a new house near his workplace to facilitate travel and stabilize his life for a long time. Every day, he feels that he is becoming more mature and self-controlled, not only in his work, but also in the way he manages his personal life. These changes not only give Aiden a sense of security, but also open up new opportunities for him to develop further. Aiden's life is no longer just the days that pass in the same boring way as before. Every day, he wakes up feeling optimistic and full of energy. He knows that he is on the right path, where every step of the way brings a new opportunity. With all the positive changes in work and life, Aiden feels ready to take on the next challenge, always willing to learn and strive for a better future. Aiden not only looks to the past to feel proud of what he has done, but also looks to the future with hope and determination. He knows that everything can change if he keeps trying, and the future, despite the challenges, is always full of opportunities.